What's up, Barbarians? If you can only play one Barbarian build this season, Double Swing, AFK, Dust Devils, plus Earthquakes is the build to play. This build is absolutely amazing. Once you get to Torment 1, this build is self-sustainable, as in you can level it up with or without your mythic uniques. You can farm for your mythic uniques with this build, you can do pits, you can do absolutely everything in the game, and we're going to show everything off. And how you're going to start this build if you don't have anything is you need the Tusk Helm, Twin Strikes, a Saber of Tussagal, and an Ugly Bastard Helmet. Regardless if you have these pieces as their original, or if you have them as Chaos Armor, get them. Next, you need the Earthquakes aspect, and you need the Fierce Winds aspect. Everything else is icing on the cake. After that, we only need Deafening Chorus. Deafening Chorus, along with Fierce Winds, is how you get the AFK Dust Devils. Then we're going to use Marred Guard, Raging Chaos. This is very important for the Tusk Helm, and a Beast Cornered. We're going to show off a Nightmare Dungeon just like this, without our mythics, to show that you can still use this build even if you don't have the ultimate endgame guide for this. When you're doing Nightmare Dungeons, look for ones with Chaos Rifts. This is very important so we can get our seasonal currency. And for this seasonal currency, this is how you're going to farm for your mythics, as you'll be able to get sparks and get items as such. Okay, we're going to show how fast this is at speed farming on T4, missing our three most important items that give us a lot of damage. Oh, one thing we did forget to do is put on this and this. I just use those for the experience bonus. But as you see, we are ripping through absolutely everything. This build is so awesome. We're still in T4. We're missing the three most important items. And we're doing absolutely fine. This is the best. We are going to skip this just for the video. What we want to do, we're not even using Wrath of the Berserker. I just used it right now. That's why even like the Ugly Bastard isn't 100% necessary just to get this off the ground. But you want to do the Nightmare Dungeons because it gives you Obdicite and it gives you the Infernal Warp. Infernal Warp is how we're going to get more sparks, which is how you are going to craft your mythics. That is the easiest and best way to craft them. If you also have the expansion, then you can use your runes. But you always get Infernal Warp with these guys here. There we go. We got some Infernal Warp. You always get it from doing that, and sometimes you will get Infernal Warp as a bonus. Every enemy you kill will give you more. That one's awesome. This is how you're going to start this build. And then once you have some power and you got some Obdicite, that's when you can do your masterworking. And then that is also when you can start doing Infernal Hordes, which we will show off next. We're at the end of the Nightmare Dungeon. This one has a boss, and this will kill him quite quickly. Done. Now, with still those pieces missing, we are going to show off the Infernal Hordes. So we can still even stand still, not do anything, and still kill enemies in the Infernal Hordes. But if we move around and also use our double swing, it does work better. And now, if you don't have Chaos Armor, this is how you're going to get it with this build. As long as you have some of those pieces. I prefer the Tusk Helm over the Ugly Bastard, just because it's easier to proc. But this is how you can get this build up and running, do everything in the game. That's why I think this build is literally the best build of the season. The absolute best. Now we're going to show the difference between round 2 with all the mythics on. But still not using the Crown of Lucian just yet. Which is another amazing multiplier. But for speed farming, I like putting in the chest piece the Tusk Helm, as I find it just works better. You don't need to worry about Fury as much. And you can only use the Crown of Lucian if you have enough Fury. But this build is just so fun to play, and it's so easy. And you just go around destroying absolutely everything. During this, the last 3 waves were extremely laggy and clearly hindered how much burning cinders we received. It was so choppy and laggy I thought I was going to have to cut the video off. It seems to be working again, but that was actually a poor showing. With this build, I usually get around 1700, so this is a great build for farming the Infernal Hordes. Okay, hit Wrath the Berserker, Ground Stomp, and he's dead. Great for farming the Infernal Hordes. Next, we're going to show off the most annoying layer boss. Hit Wrath the Berserker. When she moves, then hit Ground Stomp. And then she's dead. For the final demonstration of this build, we are going to speedrun Pit 85. And this build is the one build, the best build that does absolutely everything. And it's really fun. You don't need to switch to anything. You can play it even if you don't have all the mythic pieces and just work your way up. That is what is so awesome about this build. One build to do absolutely everything on Barbarian. I love it. This is the most fun I've had on Season 10, is with this AFK build. And I'm really glad that I got all the mythic pieces for it so I could show it off in its best form. Stand still, hit Wrath of Berserker, and just crush everything. We do have a change of our runes. We'll go over that in a minute once we go over the build. But there's going to be a couple different ways you can play it. And if you have all the mythics, just use that and just speed farm everything. Try to get them in a group if you can. That's what Ground Stomp is for. Then you hit Wrath of Berserker, and it groups them all up for you. Stand here, let the Earthquake take care of them. And we also use the double swing to give us a little hand too. Try to group some up if you can, like so. Try to group some more up, and then boom. This build is amazing. You don't have to switch builds, you don't have to do anything. Just farm up the opposite, farm up everything you need, and keep going. Okay, just under 10 minutes left, and here we go. So just watch out for, the other little parts of the boss. Each boss has their own little attacks, just watch out for those while you do have such low life. But other than that, you're going to kill bosses super quickly. And almost done. That's how awesome and fast this build is. It's just crazy. There we go, all done. That is AFK Dust Devil Double Swing with Earthquakes. If you have all the pieces, you're going to want to have Air of Perdition, Crown of Lucian, Twin Strikes, Saber of Tassagal, Ugly Bastard, Aspect of Earthquakes, Fierce Winds on your one-hander if you have the Grandfather, otherwise put on your two-hander, Vehement Brawlers, Grandfather, Ring of Starless Skies, Executioner's Aspect, and Intercom. This build is super awesome, and you can start it in Torment 1 with getting a couple uniques like Twin Strikes, or if you get the regular version of the Tusk Helm and the regular version of the Saber of Tassagal. You start off there, and then you do the activities that I've showed you. You can do any of them with either with pieces missing or with all the mythics, whatever you have. This build will get you from Torment 1 to all the way to Torment 4, easily crushing everything in Torment 4. For your runes, if you're going to do pit pushing, make sure you have Lith Lum so that Crown of Lucian doesn't take all your resources. With this combo, Grandfather, Ring of Starless Skies, and Crown of Lucian, those three are needed to spam Dust Devils. If you don't have the Ring of Starless Skies, go with the Tusk Helm in the chest piece. And I did try Crown of Lucian with the Tusk Helm. Tusk Helm I had in the glove slot, and there seemed to be a bug because I was doing a lot less damage and I wasn't being able to kill anything. I don't know what happened, but there is some sort of bug with the Tusk Helm when you combine it with certain pieces. For your tempers, use for chance to earthquakes to hit twice and critical strike damage. Also have one temper of earthquake duration. I do have a 100% chance for earthquakes to cast twice. And if you have a two-handed sword without the Grandfather, put chance for Dust Devils to cast twice. It's technically not needed as you already cast so many Dust Devils, but this will ensure you have 12 up at all times. For your weapon expertise, we use a two-handed axe. For seasonal perks, we use a Beast Cornered. Deafening Chorus, this is how we have our AFK Dust Devils. We use Deafening Chorus with the Fierce Wind aspect, which allows Dust Devils to proc all the time. Marred Guard, and Raging Chaos. Raging Chaos is only for the Tusk Helm. If you are not using the Tusk Helm, you could take this off, as we have Berserking from Warcry up all the time. For the skills, we put 2 points in any basic skill, 6 points in Double Swing for enhanced Double Swing. We don't need to take Violent or Furious. We take 3 points in Tempered Fury, only if you have the Crown of Lucian. We take 4 points into Ground Stomp for Strategic Ground Stomp. This is our only way that we proc more cooldown for Wrath of the Berserker. 3 points in Imposing Presence, 3 points into Martial Vigor, 3 points into Rallying Cry for Tactical Rallying Cry. This is our main source of resource and how we can proc Double Swing all the time. 2 points of Challenging Shout for Enhanced Challenging Shout for more life. 3 points into War Cry for Mighty War Cry. This is the only way we have fortifying the build. Very important to take Mighty War Cry. 3 points into Raid Leader, so we're healing all the time. 3 points into Swiftness, 3 points into Aggressive Resistance, 3 points into Prolific Fury, 3 points into Pit Fighter, 3 points to Slaying Strike, and take as many points as you need to No Mercy to get your critical strike chance to 100%, 1 point to Thick Skin for 3 points to Counteroffensive, 3 points to Duelist, 3 points to Heavy Hitter to have our Earthquakes and Dust Devils do more damage, 3 points to Wallop, make sure you're using a sword and a one-handed mace for your 2 weapons, and 7 points into Wrath of the Berserker for Supreme Wrath of the Berserker, which works very well with the Crown of Lucian. Our key passive is Unconstrained, and we take Unconstrained over Unbridled Rage to make sure that our Dust Devils and Earthquakes can do more damage. For our Paragon board, our first board we take Ambidextrous. Our second board is Force of Nature, where we take Twister. Our third board is Weapon Master, where we take Rumble. We take this board for the maximum fury nodes. If you don't have the Crown of Lucian, take the Carnage board instead. Our fourth board is Blood Rage, where we take Challenger. Our final board is Flawless Technique, where we take Wrath. This is by far my favorite build for the season. I love playing Flay. I really love playing Rupture, but I think this is the ultimate build. It can do absolutely everything. This is the best Barbarian build for the season. It can do absolutely everything with ease. It is fun to play. It's just an overall great build. It does everything well in the game. You're not laggy with layer bosses or only good at AoE. It does absolutely everything. If you can only play one Barbarian build, this is the build to play. And if you don't have the mythics, you can farm up for them quite easily. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.